All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to play detective and solve a real medical mystery. Our story starts, as so many do, with a frantic 911 call and a series of clues that are hidden deep inside the human body. And there it is. That's the one sentence that kicks this whole thing off. Just imagine hearing those words about someone you love. It's more than just a description. It's a massive alarm bell. That jump from just being a little forgetful to being completely confused, that's our first major clue, and it tells us something is going wrong fast.
So, who exactly are we dealing with here? Let's build a profile of our patient and see what the initial facts of the case tell us. Okay, here's the rundown. She's a 65-year-old woman, and the timeline is absolutely critical here. We've got weight gain happening over a few months, some forgetfulness popping up over the last few days, and now, suddenly, she's in a state of acute confusion. But here's the real kicker. She has no history of any medical problems. Every single one of these details is a piece of the puzzle we have to solve.
So we've heard the story. Now it's time to look at the hard data. You know, the husband gave us the backstory, but it's the patient's own body that's giving us the forensic evidence. Let's take a look at her vitals. Look, the key here isn't just one of these numbers. It's the whole pattern. Her blood pressure, 90/50. That's hypotension, dangerously low. Her pulse is crawling along at 50 beats per minute. That's bradycardia, a super slow heart rate. Even her breathing has slowed way down to just 10 breaths a minute. You add that to her cold, dry skin, and the body is practically screaming one message at us. Everything is slowing down. Okay, with this evidence in hand, it's time to line up our suspects. In medicine, we call this a differential diagnosis. It's basically creating a list of all the possible bad guys that could be causing this whole situation. So here they are, our four main suspects. Could this be some kind of acute dementia? Maybe a problem with her thyroid gland or her adrenal glands? Our job now is to interrogate each one of these possibilities and see which one actually fits the facts. All right, the interrogation is officially underway. We're going to hold each of these suspects up to the light, compare them to the evidence we have, and start ruling out the imposters.
First on the list, hyperthyroidism. Now that means an overactive thyroid gland. But just look at this. Our patient's heart rate is slow. Hyperthyroidism makes it fast. She has cold skin. Hyperthyroidism makes you hot and flushed. She's gaining weight. Hyperthyroidism makes you lose it. This isn't just a bad match. It's the literal opposite of what we're seeing. So suspect number one is out, no question. Okay, next up is Cushing syndrome. Right away, this one falls apart too. Our patient has dangerously low blood pressure, but Cushing syndrome causes high blood pressure. Plus, we're not seeing any of the other classic signs like a moon face appearance or anything like that. So yeah, this is clearly another imposter. We can cross this one off the list. So what about acute dementia? This one really comes down to the clock. Remember what her husband said? Today she is confused. Dementia, like Alzheimer's, is this slow, creeping process that takes months, even years. It doesn't just happen overnight. This sudden, sharp change in her mental state, it just doesn't fit the profile of dementia at all. So that's 3 suspects down, and only 1 left standing.
Well, through the simple process of elimination, we're left with just one culprit: decreased thyroid hormone production. So let's see if this final suspect is the one that cracks the case wide open. So what even is hypothyroidism? Well, think of your thyroid gland as the gas pedal for your entire body. It controls your metabolism. So when it's not producing enough of its hormone, it's like you've taken your foot completely off the gas for every single cell. And what happens? Everything just slows down. And this is the moment. This is where all the puzzle pieces just snap perfectly into place. First, as an older woman, she's in the highest risk group for this. The slowed metabolism, that explains the weight gain and why she's so cold. The slowing down of all her body systems, that explains the slow heart rate, the low blood pressure, and, crucially, the slowed brain function that led to her confusion. It all fits. It's a perfect match. Now, this isn't just your standard case of hypothyroidism. This is an extreme, life-threatening version of it called a myxedema coma. And it is so dangerous because it's often missed. People might just think, oh, she's just getting older. That's why it's been called a slow-motion emergency. It doesn't look as dramatic as a heart attack, but trust me, it's every bit as deadly, as the body is quietly shutting itself down. If you remember just one thing from this entire case, please let it be this sentence. It sums it all up perfectly. A cold, slow, confused, bradycardic, hypotensive older woman. That specific cluster of symptoms is the classic signature. You see that, you have to think severe hypothyroidism until you can prove it's something else.
This whole case is just such a powerful reminder, isn't it? That some of the deadliest emergencies out there don't always arrive with a bang. Sometimes they come as a whisper. And it really makes you wonder, what other critical conditions are out there just hiding in plain sight,